Hello, my name is PyGuy, and in today's video I'll be attempting to recreate Plants vs. Zombies in Python, part 1, because this stuff is really hard. The first thing I did was go over to the plant file that I had created, including the zombie file, and add the class plant. From there, I created the self.x so I can track the x. I created the self.y so I can track the y value of the main body of the plant, and also the width and the height of it. Originally I was going to set the height to a different number than the width, but I decided to set it to just width divided by 2. I also was going to add a stem, and also I imported Pygame so that I can actually be used. From there, I went on to the main file and I started adding what I would do, like a to-do list, which is to create the lawn tiles, number 1, have them properly interact with the plants, number 2, create the different types of plants, sunflowers, I plan on doing more than just like pea shooters and walnuts. And number 3, create the zombies. I would only end up doing 2 of those things, and I wouldn't even create the walnuts until later. Number 4, make a game loop, as in have it playable over and over again. I then went to main and created the sun variable, setting it to 50, and the comment create tiles. And also created the lawn list, which all the lawn tiles will be in. I changed the name to Python vs. Zombies, so I thought it was kind of funny. And created the tile x variable, which equals 0. I also changed the window width to ×2, so we can have more of a landscape view. And I changed the screen to a long green fill, which was just temporary. Next, I went on to create a for loop, and I set why I continue to make the create tile variables, changing tile x to 50 and updating to the tile y to 100. Also changing the comment to lawn tiles, because that's what the plants are planted on, lawn tiles. And I created a loop at 50, where I create 50 lawn tiles. I almost accidentally deleted the entire project there, that could have been bad. And in the for loop, I created a new lawn tile. I set it to the tile x, tile y. Actually, for that I looked up PVZ because I first wanted to get like a view of what I was going to create, but how many tiles I was going to put down, and I figured I'd just do whatever. I'm pretty sure at first I started using like 3 tiles, 3 rows, and I was like, naturally add a few more. So here I am now creating the tiles. And every new tile will also be after the last tile x, but plus new lawn tile width. I actually made a mistake here doing it like that. New tile lawn.x plus new tile width. I didn't need to do that. And then after I reach the end of the window screen, I'll just reset it to the bottom. Set it lower, not the bottom. And here I append the lawn, make a new function called lawn update. Current lawn, so I can track which is the current lawn, so I can highlight it. I put highlight in quotes, as you'll see for title in lawn. I interact with the screen, dark green tile. That's how all tiles are. First of all, I did it wrong because I didn't need the new tile.lawn x, like I said. Move over lawn. Basically, when the mouse is over the lawn, do that. Just highlight it. So yeah, there's me tracking the mouse. Let me get its position. And if the tile collides with the mouse, then it'll say. And then if I mouse click or press the button, then I'll set it to the current lawn. That's me copying the code to put over there. Copying the mouse, putting it on top. pvz.draw.rex, draw, and if the mouse is over the tile lawn, just draw green. And then later I'm going to change to transparent. In fact, I'm pretty sure later on I look it up on how to make it transparent, but yeah, I just do that and it works. As you can see, the colors are very similar and I change that later. Yeah, I tried to recreate the tile creation a lot of times until I got to when I was like, at first I was fine with the 3 tile stuff, but later on I wasn't. That's why I later made it smaller and all the way to 60, but I thought that was too small. Notification family. Yeah, that was way too much. I just controlled V all the way back to 21 and I was like, okay, the size is fine, who cares, you know, it'll work. Back down here, from here, hover and select one. So for every tile, I keep saying tile, in lawn, if tile.collide point with the mouse, if PVZ.mouse that press it, left click. If left click, then just select it, make it the current lawn. Append current lawn. Or tile equals current lawn, and boom. Now if I press it, or if I'm hovering, and make it current lawn. I will do change this later on, not in this video, in a whole different future video. Back into the plant file, I would start working on the self.stem here. Yeah. Originally, I was confused on whether the stem would be the body of the plant or just like, is it just part of the stem? And I figured I'd just like try to make it follow the plant body itself instead of making it the plant body. That didn't work. Next, I created a draw function to just draw the base of the plant. I later change it to just draw the plant. And from plant, import plant. I had to change it to, yeah, uppercase the first part to P, uppercase P. Plants, zombies. Plants is equal to entire list. And then I add plants. I indent so I can know like that's stuff for plants. And also have a plant update function. And for I do a special little thing as a PLT for plant. For put in plant, which is plant, just draw it. I append, I add the screen into the function. I set up the rectangle. Self.x, self.y, self.width, self.height. Also added a type. If it's a P shooter, that type is just the name, which I should really change in the future from self.type to self.name. Just this name, plant.name. And then self.type. I remember this. I tried to add like all the drawing stuff into the function type. And it didn't work. I'd run it and it would just break for some reason. later on, I would then add the sunflower, and that would not work at all. I'll change the first one to sunflower. That was one of the first I wanted to work on. Added screen, orange, self.rex. Interestingly enough, I don't actually see this stem being drawn. No, I didn't draw it then. Interesting. Back into main, I had created a tile that picked, and if tile, and if basically, well, it's under there for the current lawn equals 0. If I didn't press a lawn tile piece, it would set it to 0, but that just broke the code. I don't know why. So I just get rid of it. Even if I click somewhere else, it'd still say the current lawn tile is here. That is it. And if current lawn doesn't equal 0 when the tile is picked, then so it's nothing. Down here, I remember I was being confused on how I was going to do tile.pick stuff, and I figured, okay, because if I press a button, it's just going to keep creating more and more plants on that tile, and because I didn't make lawn a class, like I didn't make lawn a whole file and have it be a whole separate class, I can just do this. I can just have it like this. For tile and lawn, if tile equals the current lawn tile picked, that's what that variable means, by the way, and if event of type is p pagging key down, and that key goes pagging key just number 1, then create a new plant. And this is me utilizing the plant file. It's set to the middle of the lawn tile, but I changed that because it's a little confusing. Yeah, that's why I did it down there too, so I wouldn't just keep making more and more and more plants. Yeah, I got rid of that because this did not work. So yeah, self.type, this is the part where it says self.type where it just broke down, where the function broke down. I was confused on what to do, and I was just like, oh, screw it. I'll just hard code it and put it back under draw. Man, I hated that. I wish I could have found a way to save it, or like make it so that it's an actual function and not just having one function have if this type, if this type, if this type. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm still thinking on what I'm gonna do, like how I'm gonna fix this problem, and then just at the end I just say, okay, it's not gonna get fixed, and I'll just do something else about it. And just put it on the drop. I don't know if I'm here. Oh yeah, and then there's me going back to check, and then I check the main file to do it. Okay, now I'm deciding, alright, screw it. Just gonna add it back to draw. Who cares? It works. And there, it technically worked. As you can see, there was a lot of ups and downs to the whole process. Here I am trying to draw the stem file, but that is not going well. Screen, connect low, and something code down. Yeah, when I drew stem, it was the same color as other objects. So yeah, I don't know why it was like that. I just commented out and just go, okay. The plant making the stem, making it a file is correct. I can put that in the middle though. And then I try to put it more at the top, and I thought that would be the sunflower. Sunflower's head. Let's try to stem it. Now, the orange supposed to be the sunflower's head. Oh, I know what's happening now. It's putting the stem in the middle. Between. That's why it looks like this same color. It's just, self-doubt. Why? That is hilarious. That is laugh out loud hilarious. That's what I was doing at the time. I didn't increase it by its height. Did I increase it by its height down there? Okay, now I'm just trying to hard code the stem. No, I didn't increase it by the height down here either. You didn't even see it. Oh my gosh. No wonder it was broken. So I can just easily add it back. I'm not going to. Yeah, that's what I end up doing later on. It's just harder than drawing it like that. I also decided to change the color of the background there. Change the color of the stem. That really have a name. Changes to lawn green. I figured everything looked better like this. And I'm trying to make the stem more in the middle. Now I move on to the class projectile. Self.x, y, all those things bang. I'm creating a simple, the type to not this gem. I'm making it a sun because it can be sun or it can be a P, as in the sun that the P shooter drops and what's it called, the P or the P shooter shoot. Yeah, that is. And later I'm going to add type into the def initialize, so that I can actually change it when I'm making a new projectile. And I'm making the draw function for it. And also making it so that I add the type here, doing if type equals, if self.type equals sun, then do that. Originally I was going to find a way to like match it with what's making it. So if it's sunflower, it has to make this. The sunflower plants, match it to the plant. If it's a plant, sunflower has to make this. Sunflower plant, so that's to make that. In the future, for the zombie class, I'm probably going to make it so that, you know how there's a projectile inside the plant? Well, for them, the zombie, they'll have a tool. Yeah, they'll have a tool class, and if they have the tool class, if the tool class gets to 0, like let's say Coned or like the All-Stars football head and helmet, when it gets to 0, then it can be attacked. And here I'm going to create def action for the P +4. Yeah, but a lot of weird pauses. I don't know what that's all about. Say a terminal, adding the sun so I can draw it onto the screen. Yeah, can't forget that. Lawn update would have like all the UI elements in the future. Is it gonna have not all UI elements, because I want to have, and here's me making the sun text, because I want to have like the pick the C class at the top of the screen every PVZ game. I want to have that be a part of the plant. So like if the plant is picked, if it's a part of the game, the current match you're playing against the zombies, the current round, then it'll be at the top. If it's not, then it ain't up there. And also the image, which is just like square. I'm trying to make it. Remember at first, yeah, it didn't appear. There's the reason why it didn't appear. Oh, I wasn't actually drawing. Yeah, I accidentally drew the screen itself. It was so weird. I've never done that before. Use screen bullet to draw the screen. I changed it back, obviously, to sun text instead of screen. Yeah, and it creates it. You just create a little flower. When a flower is created, minus it by 50. No, yeah, 50. I don't know why I was going for 25. That's how much they cost. Projectile. Oh yeah, originally I was gonna have the projectile add increment from the pea shooter because obviously at the time I didn't make a zombie and I was like very tired at this point. You know, only 20 minutes in. Let me tell you, this is like 30 minutes for me. Which is a lot, but still. Originally I was gonna have it create the projectile in here, but then I was like, I don't know about that. Here's me setting out the counter thing, the CC plus equals 1 over and over again. And when the CC becomes greater than the add increment, so the CC to 0 and do something. So it's like a timer. Every add increment time, do that. Also, sorry for the fan of my laptop. It's long. So now here I go over to the main file and I go for plant in plants, create projectile, and I just do plant.cc, plant.cc, plant.add, it creates a new projectile. This is also where I get rid of it. I don't know what I'm doing there. This is also where I go. I need to know its type. From plant, import projectile. Create it at the end. I want to say change it so I'll be like, okay, for pea shooter it's gotta be at the end of the plant. But for sunflower it's gotta be like random around its face. The way sunflower works, it actually drops. I'm gonna need a way to add that. I'm gonna need to add like gravity to sunflower's plant stuff. And here I type. I change that to this type so I can type to just sun. Sun projectile. For the projectiles, for each projectile in the projectiles list that I made earlier, like the plants list and the lawn list, I have projectiles update, which I put projectiles in, and for each projectile I just draw it. And in its draw it also has the action function, which only some have actions for. If projectile type equals sunflower, then I think it just stays there, it doesn't do anything. What else to do? Projectile stop remove. PVZ plus sun plus 25. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna do if if I collected the point of the mouse. I didn't add the clicking thing too. I don't know if I'm gonna add that or not. If you have to click to add the sun, remember, just to put down a plant, it's number based. You press 1, 2, in the future 3 and 4. I didn't know how to make it drag yet, and that actually line failed because it was hard to make the. Pretty sure it was the X. Yeah, the X of the sun projectile. It was hard to make it random, and I tried inting it. A function that made it random. First I had it, and I didn't work. And I tried to int the whole thing. I thought it was like a float thing. Yeah, no, float object cannot be interpreted as an integer. That's the thing. But that didn't work either. The X randoming where the sun X would be between the end of the sunflower and the beginning of the sunflower just didn't work. But the Y did work. The Y, that worked amazingly. The Y could be random regardless, but for some reason the X couldn't be. So I just get rid of the whole thing and just set it to planet.x. I didn't put the right name for collide point. Yeah, it's supposed to be direct collide point because projectile on its own, the class doesn't have that function. And here it is. Here it's working, but it's a little fast. Yeah, fix X random spawning. It's okay. It's a little fast. Let me change it. Not from 100 to 150, which is longer than what it is at the start. Oh no, it's 0 at the start. You can change it back to 0. So I just change the name. Yeah. And only if sun is greater, then can you actually spawn that sunflower. Spawn plant, and then I commented the next thing, spawn sunflower. I kind of messed up spelling spawn. And then that's for pea shooter. So that would be key to number 2. Of course, I can't always do keys forever. The sun is greater than 100. Type. Sunflower. And here, there they spawn. And I just hover over it, then I make a new one. And then I make a pea shooter. I didn't like how not long it was. And also it wasn't shooting a pea. But the suns were spawning though. The sunflowers, they were spawning easily. Increase the increment so it takes longer for the sun to spawn. I go right to action to see how to fix it. Because the pea, I'm pretty sure I increased the width of the pea shooter. I made it way too big at first. The width of the length of the pea shooter's tube made it way too big. Changes projectiles to 100. If on that tidy equals pea shooter, then make a pea. And of course now all plants are gonna end up doing this. Yeah, I fixed that too, so it's in action. Yeah, I made it so that it goes to the end of the pea itself, the pea body. I didn't like how big it was, but they were shooting. The increment was, obviously there isn't a zombie there, and I don't actually end up making a zombie, but at the moment, that is it. I can make a bunch of sunflowers. I only end up making like max 3, but I do make a lot of pea shooters. Yeah, there are many things to fix, but at that point, the game's basically almost finished. I increased the size of the lawn, just for the fun of it. And yeah, I tried to switch up the alpha rectangle for pie game, which is done for later, but not now. I'll not be done for now. And the project was basically done for me. Thank you for watching. Part 2 will be up, I don't know, hopefully soon. Goodbye.